else. However, of course, you know you got that one employee that don't listen to shit that you say. Okay, so Latoya Guest actually released the bag to an unknown person. Yes, the bag with all the $1 million worth of songs, all the cash, all the jewelry, and all that shit. That with the note on it that said "Do not release." And this is La La News 3, and thanks for tuning in to another episode. And in this episode, I'll actually be doing another version of Quick Spits. And this will be about producer D Hill, who passed away recently. And also about Young Thug, who is suing his complex for his missing hard drive, amongst other things. So, and you guys know where to reach me at all social media platforms. Lala News 3. Check my LinkTree, excuse me, for all of my podcasting and links there where you can find me at as well. So we'll get right into it with producer D Hill. So Darius Hill, aka D Hill, actually passed away on October the 14th, and his cause of death is actually yet to be disclosed or released as of yet. So we do know that he actually was from Hartwell, Georgia, and he did co-produce Drake and Future's 9-time platinum hit, Life is Good. So, you know, I'm still listening to that now, just keeping it real, but, you know. And D Hill, he also told Complex Magazine in 2017, well, excuse me, about a year or two ago, that he started his career, rather, in 2017. And that was taking trips to Atlanta, staying with a friend here or there, as he came up to the city and whatnot to kind of work and mingle and network. And that he was working with freelance artist Guap Tarantino and had the opportunity to actually produce Future's part on Life is Good with Drake. So while Oz and Ambiza actually produced Drake's portion. So they did fuse the two, which the songs are actually, come to find out, produced by 3 different people. 2 on Drake's end, and then you have D Hill, who produced Future's part. So that's a fun fact. Didn't know that, but hey, learn something new every day. Now, he also, in regards to his career, produced "I Don't Want to Break Up," "Sleeping on the Floor," and "Over Your Head," which are some of the songs from Future and Lil Uzi Vert's album called Pluto X Baby. So that has been released as well not too long ago. So he did, you know, have some works that he had been doing, and he still, everybody apparently knew who he is if he damn was producing for Future in that aspect. And then he produced a couple items, like I said, on the album that Future and Lil Uzi Vert collabed on. So and then as far as the people that kind of went out speaking on their condolences, producer Mojo Crazy, which he announced it initially on Twitter. He said, "Rest in peace, D Hill." And then shortly after, D Hill's grandmother, Tracy West, announced it on Facebook. "Y'all please pray for my family. My sweet grandson, Darius Hill, has passed away. Continue to pray for his family and friends as we all go through the day ahead." So my condolences to the family as well, you know. And he was very young, like he was young. So not really saying what the cause of death once again is right now. We'll find out, of course, you know, it'll probably be released in the coming weeks once the autopsy is done, and I guess, of course, respect to the family's privacy there on that. So also there were additional tributes that came from Playboy Cardi, Sunny Digital, and TM88, and then lots of others as well posted about it. And then Playboy Cardi, I know, put a rest in peace up at his concert that he had, or during his performance that he had that night. So that was really sweet there. So and that is on the passing once again of D Hill on October the 14th. So and we'll get into Young Thug, who actually is suing for missing his hard drive out of a bag, which it actually gets a lot deeper than that, because there was a lot more than a hard drive in that bag. So in November of 2020, okay, so last year, Young Thug accidentally left his bag in the parking lot by his car at his complex, which is called the Trace, here in Atlanta. And the bag actually contained $40,000 in cash, a diamond-crusted watch worth $57,000, and a diamond chain worth $37,000. And including that would have been the infamous hard drive, which was said to contain 200 unreleased songs, which he says that hard drive itself is worth $1 million. That is the label and tag that he is putting on the unreleased music. And that's to be nice about it, because, it's 200 unreleased songs. That's a whole hell of a lot of songs. And he valued them at $1 million. So, and as far as how they got found, so a resident actually found the bag, which was sitting next to his car. They found it in the parking garage. And they turned it in to the Trace's concierge. And the Trace's concierge actually is the one that called Young Thug and let him know that his bag was safe. They would put it up for him. And then there was a note, okay, that was attached to the bag instructing other concierge employees to not release the bag to anyone without checking into the main person who actually is over the concierge, who is supposed to be Lily. And that would ensure that the bag gets returned to Young Thug and no one else. However, of course, you got that one employee that don't listen to shit that you say. Okay, so LaToya Guest actually released the bag to an unknown person. Yes, the bag with all the $1 million worth of songs, all the cash, all the jewelry, and all that shit, that with the note on it that said do not release. That's exactly what she did, was release. In that case, since she did that, the Trace then is responsible for everything in the bag. According to Young Thug, he said he is suing for millions, claiming that they were negligent in breaching their duty to care for his bag. He also said the Trace failed to properly supervise and train its employees, or have adequate policies and procedures to protect him and other residents, I guess, from losing their bags and shit. That's kind of how that's going. I mean, he claims that it was left with them. They received it from a resident. They also told him that they would make sure that it was safe and all good and fine and dandy. And then come to find out it wasn't. So he's kind of pissed about that, and he's suing for millions. And, the bag, since it's an unknown person, has yet to turn up, or no one knows where this bag is. And I guess they're waiting to see if any of the music leaks or whatever have you. And I'm not sure if they may have had that music backed up on an additional drive somewhere, which is usually smart to do if that's your only copy. No one usually has that as their only copy. But if that was the case, then that would be a serious issue, and it still would run the risk of it getting leaked. So, in that aspect, let me know what you guys think about that. I also have updates on it, because I'm sure this is not the end. He's just now filing a lawsuit, so therefore we'll see what's going to happen or how that's going to come up. As far as the settlement, or if they're going to take it all away or what. So, and this is Lala News 3, and thanks for tuning in to another episode, and I'm out.